Zero Dark Garfield by Shakespeare Hemingway, based on the movie Zero Dark 30. It was a sunny day of shining glory when Maya was looking for Osama bin Laden. She had been looking for ages upon years and was no closer to the capture of her quarrying. It had been many months. Why have you not found Osama bin Laden? Asked Joseph Bradley with frustration. I am trying, but it's hard. He hides from justice like the moon hides from the sun, Maya responded with exasperated tears. You must keep on the hunt and be ready for the pounce. America needs you, said Joseph Bradley as he walked out. Where are you, Osama bin Laden? Cried out Maya, with fists raised to the sky. Maya traveled all over the world, but was no closer to the supervillain. She traveled to lands of desert and sand like Pakistan and Afghanistan, but it was no use. Full of exhaustion and depression, she went back to her room to sleep. It is no use. I am useless, said Maya as she cried herself to slumber tears. In her dreams of sleeping agony, Osama bin Laden was running away from her, but she could just not capture him. He was giggling like a little schoolgirl and ducking in rabbit holes. Hee, you cannot catch me, said Osama bin Laden as he leaped into the rabbit hole in her dream. Maya jumped in after him and stumbled into twisting tunnels of spiraling chaos. When sliding finally ended, she found herself in a room at last, cornering Osama bin Laden. Hoo-hoo-hee, said Osama bin Laden as he split into 20 Osama bin Ladens. No, cried out Maya in panic. Maya could not tell which Osama bin Laden was Osama bin Laden, and her body was filled with distraught during the dreamscape. Then, with suddenness, orange figure filled with manly presence appeared and breathed fire on Osama bin Laden's, burning them to cinder. After Osama bin Laden burning, the figure of mystery stared at Maya with eyes of fury, and after looking, the figure disappeared into the sunset, and Maya woke up in her room. She was covered with sweat and was trembling at power she had witnessed. Who was that awesome power? And what could this mean? Thought Maya to herself as she shook with amazement. As Maya sat in thoughtfulness on her bed, she heard the phone ring with alarm. Hello, this is Maya. Who is talking? Asked Maya with questions as she answered her phone. This is Leon Panetta of the CIA. We need you to come to CIA headquarters right now for update, answered the voice with authority. Okay, sir. I'm on my way, responded Maya with obedience. Maya flew to Washington, D.C., USA, and walked into CIA building with anxiousness. She was full of nerves since for all of her searching, she was no closer to finding Osama bin Laden. Inside, she went to the elevator and hit on the button for CIA headquarters. When she arrived at CIA headquarters, Leon Panetta and Joseph Bradley were sitting at a table awaiting reports. Well, Miss Maya, what is your status? Have you found the fiend? Asked Leon Panetta with inquisition. Yes, surely you must have succeeded. After all this time, only a total failure would have nothing, scolded Joseph Bradley with jeering. Maya looked down at her feet, and tears fell from her eyes like drops of sadness from pools of regret. I am a failure, cried out Maya as she collapsed on her knees. If top-notch CIA agent Maya could not find Osama bin Laden, then all hope is truly lost, said Leon Panetta with sad resignation. Then, in the hour of dire despair, when all hope was gone to death and dust, a figure of awesome power burst through the wall, riding a custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle and wearing cool poncho with lasagna insignia, while scorpions rock you like a hurricane played for all to hear. You could tell he was a rebel. The figure's eyes burned like searing orbs of roaring lasagna. "Garfield!" cried out Leon Panetta and Joseph Bradley in unison. Maya looked on in amazement and wonder, for it was the mysterious figure of her dreams. Who is this Marvel man? Thought Maya as she stared at him. I hate Mondays. I am here in country of America, land of freedom, yet I am hearing the whines of babies, said Garfield in his monotone voice with disgust. But we are lost of hope. Osama bin Laden will never be found. We've looked everywhere, cried Joseph Bradley with whimpering. It is true. It's impossible. I've looked world over with CIA expertise. No one can find him, said Maya with doubting words. Fools, you all act like Mondays. I will find this Osama bin Laden and bring justice to him like justice has never been brought. Garfield roared with knowing. But you cannot. You're not super high CIA agent. Osama bin Laden can be everywhere, protested Maya with defiance. Garfield stepped off the motorcycle with his masculine cat feet and walked over to model globe in the corner with a strut of cool confidence. Garfield spun the globe and then stopped it with one finger. Osama bin Laden is there, declared Garfield with his index finger connecting with the globe's surface. Of course, said Leon Panetta in awe of Garfield's skills. Now that the prey is found, it is time for the hunting to begin, Garfield said as he loaded his Desert Eagle for justice dispensing. I will kill him like I want to kill Mondays, Garfield said. Garfield, wait! You need a team. A team of 6 SEALs called SEAL Team 6, cautioned Leon Panetta with wary words. This is my SEAL Team 6, Garfield replied, pointing at his toned abs that formed a glorious six-pack. Leon Panetta and Joseph Bradley nodded in agreement and examined with envy the abs, while Maya admired Garfield's toned body with careful inspection. Will you need anything, Garfield? Entire treasury of the USA is at disposal, informed Leon Panetta with offers. I will need a bachelor pad via and weekend's worth of lasagna and refreshments, and to ban all Mondays. Before I am finding deviants for destruction, I am going to have one hell of a bash, Garfield replied with righteousness. Sir, this is most out of the ordinary and cannot be allowed, protested Maya in defiance. Very well, Garfield, it will be done, agreed Leon Panetta, at all with Garfield's wisdom. This is more like it. Now, if you're excusing me, I have a party to attend to, Garfield said as he began to walk out. Before Garfield left, he turned to Maya and looked her up and down with approval. Hey there, my spicy. Why don't you come later to see what life in the fast lane is all about, little lasagna? Garfield said with a wink. Why you? Gasped Maya with appalling, although she couldn't deny that she felt some butterflies in her cooch. Think about it, my cove obs cutie, Garfield replied, flirting as he handed Maya his address and walked out of the room. Sir, we are professionals. We cannot allow this recklessness. This is against all rules. What about Osama bin Laden? Maya said with insistence. Garfield does not live by our rules. He follows a higher code, Leon Panetta informed with truth. A real man like that respects only the law of lasagna and steel, said Joseph Bradley with humble respect for the Jesus-like Garfield. Maya shook her head. As a woman, she was in disbelief and left the office in disgust. One day she will understand, Leon Panetta said with wise words. Maya was driving home in her car with angry steering. She could not believe the galling words that entered her ears that day. She was a cool, calm, professional woman, and had no patience for the manly boldness of Garfield. Although filled with the anger, she could not stop thinking about his rugged manliness, and was fascinated by him and his toned six-pack abs. She decided to go to his bachelor pad via and confront him with her thoughts on his unprofessionalness. I must find what makes that man tick, thought Maya, as she drove with agility to Garfield's bachelor pad. On arrival at Garfield's bachelor pad, she saw a sight of splendor. Cool music of rap was playing as hot ladies in bikinis were all around, sipping champagne and eating the finest lasagna. All around were decorations of highest cost, exotic, erotic lasagna art, and palm trees shaped in lasagna were all around for lasagna mood-making. In courtyard, Maya saw Garfield lounging by a poolside shaped like lasagna with hot, sexy ladies in lasagna bikini wear. Garfield was smoking a lasagna cigarette as sexy lasagna bikini ladies rubbed suntan oil on his shirtless body. Garfield saw Maya approach, and interest piqued at sight of a new sexy lady. "Hey there, my fiery fox. I'm glad to see you showed up," Garfield said with suaveness. "Do not be getting your hopes up. I'm not here for lasagna. I'm only here for discussion," responded Maya with rebuffing. "Very well, cheeky baby. The lasagna's free. Ask away," Garfield said as he snapped his fingers, sending the bikini babes away. "Garfield, I don't understand. You're wasting American tax dollars, and how can you be living life up when you're so soon to be fighting to the death the supervillain Osama bin Laden?" asked Maya with bafflement. "To deliver punishment of pain, one must experience pleasure of paradise in lasagna," Garfield said with teaching words of the guru. Garfield's words exploded in Maya's mind with revelation. She looked at Garfield with more understanding, but with even more perplexement. She could not understand the true meaning of the lasagna mindset. "Are you an angel or devil?" Maya asked Garfield. "Neither. I'm lasagna," Garfield responded as he puffed on his lasagna cigarette. Maya's heart swelled with the heat of lasagna as Garfield's bad boy charms got best of her. "But you must not be stranger to pleasure, you sexy secret agent," Garfield said with seduction. "Actually, I'm inexperienced in ways of love and romance. I've spent all my life finding Osama bin Laden. I haven't had time for love," Maya said with shy coyness. "Well, that must be changing this instance. Follow me, my governmental girlie," Garfield said as he led Maya to his bathroom. Garfield's bedroom was surrounded by virility symbols, the fragrance of romance, and of course lasagna. "Take me, Garfield. Show me world of fleshy fun," Maya whispered with wanting as she let down her hair, took off her clothes, revealing her hot, naked body. "Your hair is red hot like lasagna, and your skin is milky smooth like mozzarella, which is the cheese in lasagna," Garfield said with approving as he examined her fine female body. "Feast on my body with your manly mouth," Maya moaned softly to Garfield with desire. "First things first, fine meal of filet mignon needs to be tenderized," Garfield said as he took Maya and put her on his lap and began spanking her. "Spank me with your pleasure palms, Maya cried out in ecstasy as Garfield spanked her with love and romance. Garfield spanked her like blacksmiths tempering a metal knife, with mighty blows of hammer crafting behind, with sexiness leaving it red hot like molten steel. Now that tenderizing is done, time to dine in, Garfield said with a sly smile as he began to lick Maya all over her sexy femme body and supple white perky breasts, which were like the fresh baked cheese calzones, similar to lasagna. Garfield, you make my body burn up with passion of intensity, Maya said with satisfaction as Garfield's expert tongue explored Maya's body like slimy earthworms consuming earthly debris, of pleasure traveling through moist underground tunnels. After body licking, Garfield embraced Maya to deliver pleasure power to her with his mighty cat thighs. Time to launch the Patriot missiles, Garfield said as he bombarded her body, penetrating her bunker with hellfire explosions, metaphorically. Garfield and Maya made powerful loving that thundered like explosions all into the night and into the morning. In the morning, Garfield and Maya lay in bed, savoring moments before the conflict of battle, before they will have to confront Osama bin Laden. However, Garfield knew no time was to be wasted and got up to prepare for his mission. Garfield, you've made me see a world I had not known before, a world of love and lasagna. Please be careful. I don't want to be losing you, Maya said, with worry in her heart. Do not sweat your brow, my spice rack. I have taken you to heaven now, and I will ascend Osama bin Laden to hell, a place of eternal torment where Monday is every day, Garfield said with cool style as he loaded his Desert Eagle, which is a gun. You are a one-of-a-kind man, or should I say cat, Maya said with swooning. Garfield geared up for combat and readied himself. When he was ready, he went to his helipad on the roof of his bachelor pad and entered the helicopter for transportation. The helicopter was all black except for the flaming lasagna logo with the lightning bolt through it. Maya went up to see him off for good luck. Good luck, Garfield, and bring vengeance of blood to Osama bin Laden. Make him pay for what he did, said Maya, waving her handkerchief. Garfield gave Maya a thumbs up as he took off. After some flying, Garfield arrived at Osama bin Laden's house. Party time, Garfield said with slickness as he jumped out of the helicopter. Garfield walked to the front door of Osama bin Laden's house for raiding. Knock, knock, Garfield said as he kicked open the door with mighty foot. Terrorist scum was on the other side, but before he could react, Garfield grabbed his arm and twisted it like a pretzel, making the terrorist point his own gun at himself. Stop shooting yourself, said Garfield as he made the terrorist shoot himself with his own gun. After disposing of terrorist, Garfield thought of a clever idea for stealth. He ripped off terrorist's head and stuck it on the nozzle of his Desert Eagle for silencer surprise. This is what I am calling using your head, said Garfield as he stuck head on Desert Eagle with the nozzle of the gun pointing out of its mouth. After head sticking, Garfield walked on in search of his foe. He saw two more terrorists and handled them like the previous terrorist. Garfield whistled at the terrorist for attention-getting. Hey fellows, your friend has some word to say, Garfield said as he shot terrorist with head-tipped Desert Eagle. You're such a motor mouth, said Garfield with cleverness as he patted head. There was no time for resting as soon as 4 more terrorists came running to avenge their fallen, terrorizing comrades. Garfield did not hesitate and knew what to do. "Heads up," said Garfield, as he took off the head on his Desert Eagle and threw it at the terrorists. The head landed near the terrorists and exploded, blowing up terrorists with noggin napalm. "Don't blow your top," Garfield said in a chill, monotone voice as he strode on by to continue his searching. While searching compound, Garfield found a staircase that led to upstairs domain. Garfield walked upstairs with mighty feet and arrived on a room where he came face to face with evil villainy. "Garfield!" cried out Osama bin Laden with sweating despair. "Congratulations, you have one vocation to hell, and I am your tour guide," Garfield said with cool justice as he eyed the villain with eyes. "I do not think so, Garfield. You won't be eating my rubber," Osama bin Laden said as he hopped on his moped for getaway escape. Osama bin Laden drove his moped out of the window and onto winding mountain road for escaping. "Run to your grave, fool, but you can never escape the Reaper," Garfield said as he jumped out the window and landed on his custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle for a high-speed chase. Garfield chased Osama bin Laden up a winding mountain path and stayed on him like a tuna in a sandwich. The roaring engines were only matched by speed of intensity. "Chase this," said Osama bin Laden. Pressed button on his moped, causing oil to spill out for slipping and sliding. "Pretty tricks do not shake my iron grip," Garfield said, as he effortlessly drove through the oil as if he was skating on warm milk. The fiery sparks of Garfield's wheels of steel caused oil to explode behind him, blowing up the road as he drove on. High-speed chase continued up spiraling mountainside paths, road thinned to slivers, and danger periled to new heights. Osama bin Laden drove his moped with reckless speed, but Garfield did not sway or swerve. On the horizon, Garfield saw his opportunity to end chasing once and for all. A tree in the distance, and Osama bin Laden was nearing with his moped. "Time to get to the root of the problem," said Garfield as he took out gilded axe of steel and strength from his pockets. Garfield tossed the axe at the tree with bullseye accuracy, chopping the tree trunk, making the tree fall on Osama bin Laden with crushing purpose. "My bark is worse than my bite," Garfield quipped as he looked on with satisfaction. Garfield walked over to a tree, crushed Osama bin Laden to finish what was started. He looked over and saw a tree crushing Osama bin Laden's legs, trapping into the ground. "Osama bin Laden, you were a vile enemy to humanity. For this, you will meet an end of eternal Mondays," Garfield said with judgment as he looked on with disgust at the vicious villain. "Garfield, you may have crushed my legs forever, but my evil will walk forever," Osama bin Laden spouted vile nonsense. "Fool, there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and my fist. Now you will be experiencing 2 of these," Garfield said, exploding righteousness as he thrust fist into Osama bin Laden's abdomen, impaling him on the arm. Garfield then raised fist into the air, with impaled Osama bin Laden raised to the sky. Evil blood dripping from knuckles and down the muscular arm like river of red molten lasagna, except it was blood. As impaled Osama bin Laden was raised, 2 killer whales burst from the ocean, each biting the end of Osama bin Laden and tearing him in half, taking split corpse back with them to watery abyss. "Enjoy your vocation, Willie," Garfield quipped with coolness as he put a lasagna cigarette in his mouth. As Garfield lit the lasagna cigarette with his handgun lasagna lighter, he saw figures coming up on the horizon. It was Leon Panetta, Joseph Bradley, and his hot lasagna babe, Maya, on scene to congratulate him on victory. "Garfield, you have done it. You are a true American hero," said Leon Panetta with thanks. "That was some wild driving, Garfield," said Joseph Bradley with shock and awe. "When riding the highway to hell, and being chased by the devil on his four-wheeled flaming motorcycle, you do not stop for red lights," Garfield responded with knowing wisdom. "Garfield, where is Osama bin Laden's body? We need it for authentication," Leon Panetta asked with bureaucracy. "You can look for it yourself, but be sure to choose the right bait," quipped Garfield as he tossed them fishing rods. "Now, if you excuse me, I have my own fish to catch, and the bait is no worm but sea serpent," Garfield said as he put an arm around Maya. "Oh, Garfield, you always know what to say to make a lady feel special," Maya said, blushing. As Garfield walked with Maya in arm, he saw another figure in the horizon approaching them. It was Catherine Bigelow. "Garfield, I have been watching you with great awe and impressments. I must make a movie out of your adventures so all can witness your manly wonder," Catherine Bigelow proposed with good ideas. "I am liking the way you think, but first I think we should make a different kind of movie at my place," Garfield said with a wink as he held the camcorder. After all, Garfield was a ladies' man at heart. "Garfield, how can I resist my leading man?" Catherine Bigelow said with flirtations as she and Maya walked with Garfield to his bachelor pad for more lasagna lovemaking. Garfield took his leading ladies to the bedroom, Pleasure Palace, where he could show them what it means to be a real star. Catherine Bigelow showed Garfield her Golden Globes, while Maya polished his Oscar. Wink, wink. And the three made the passion of lasagna loving that ran through bedroom like a river of champagne and ecstasy. The end. Author's note: I wrote this for brave fighting men and women in the military. The end.